Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur, author of Lean Six Sigma Demystified and the QI Macros. I'm here at Maui Kaanapali Villas on the beautiful island of Maui. This is one of the places I've come for many years to think and reflect and have a little downtime. And I started thinking about the trends affecting Six Sigma. Now, one of the first big changes really, in 1900, the US was mainly agricultural, and now over the course of time, right, with Shewhart, Deming, and Duran, it shifted to being more about manufacturing. And that lasted up well into the mid-50s and 60s, but then it started to change. And in 1986, when Motorola rolled out Six Sigma, that was for manufacturing, for making phones. And Motorola is not known for making phones anymore, but you get the idea. We have this shift from a manufacturing economy to a pure service economy. Over 80% of the people in America work in a service industry. And of the 11% that work in manufacturing, most of them don't work on the factory floor where they can use everything that we taught in Six Sigma. So what do we see? Well, I see us having shifted, but we haven't shifted how Six Sigma is taught to match the reality of who's out there. Sure, if you work in manufacturing, great, get a black belt or green belt. But if you don't need all that stuff, right? And if you want to work in Asia and the manufacturing plants over there, by all means, get a black belt or green belt and go work over there. That's what a lot of people I know in quality improvement have done. They work a half a year in Asia. So our economy has shifted. So we can't keep teaching people stuff they don't need to know to solve problems they don't have, to impress people they don't like. So that's the first trend, the change in the economy. The second trend is this continuous, accelerating, disruptive change, right? In 1999, all of a sudden it was Google and Amazon and Apple all got spun out of the internet, right? And it's just continuous, aggressive change. And in 2007, Apple came out with the smartphone, which made everything instantly accessible, things we didn't even know we wanted, right? We're right there at our fingertips. You can track how many steps you take a day. It can tell you where you are on the planet with GPS, all kinds of stuff. Now, this continuous accelerating change has made leadership a little bit more antsy. They need to be more flexible, more aggressive about how they approach changes. Otherwise, they get left behind. And so that's another big change. And out of that change came the need for what's called Agile. That's our third trend, right? And Agile started with software engineers back in 2000 saying, hey, Moore's Law says that hardware is getting twice as powerful and half the cost every 18 months, continues to do so. The same thing with bandwidth. Bandwidth doubles in speed and halves in cost every 9 months. Oh my gosh. And so the software engineers looked at their past and said, well, we're not even vaguely doing that. We have little incremental improvements. So they came up with this phrase called Agile. And they took Lean and modeled that and applied it to software and started doing what they call sprints of 2 weeks of producing value-added stuff. And so Agile has become a part of software, but then the leadership teams and the other departments started looking around going, oh, those IT guys are really doing something cool, right? And so Agile has started to move out of software and moved into HR, and procurement, and fulfillment, and call centers, and all kinds of places. Now, Agile is this third movement. And I'm telling you, the way we taught Six Sigma last century is not how we should be teaching it this century. That's why I offer a one-day online free Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt training right on our website. You can learn how to do it for free. Now, I also believe that you can't do Six Sigma without software. So, of course, I want to sell you the QI Macros because I think it makes Six Sigma crazy easy. Crazy easy. So those are the three trends. And if you're still trying to parrot the old things, the way it was done before, then I think you're talking about the history of quality. Now, I stand on the shoulders of giants. Shewhart came up with the control charts in the 20s and 30s, and then he trained Deming and Duran. And I love those guys, but it's time for a new paradigm. So Agile, Lean Six Sigma, we reduce the number of tools down to 7 and apply the heck out of those until we reach a point where we can no longer fix anything with those. And I think that will be a powerful change in how we do quality improvement in the 21st century. It's time to think about the future of quality, not the past. I'm Jay Arthur. That's my improvement insight for this day, this week, and this year. We need to be agile.
Quality improvement, quick insights, QI macros.